Hello, everyone. I'm Tanya Rivera. Welcome back to CBSN. President Biden is touting the U.S. vaccine rollout ahead of the holiday weekend.
More than 165 million Americans so far have done their patriotic duty, 165 million, and gotten at least one shot. Americans of every party, every race, creed, have come together, rolled up their sleeves literally, and done their part. Now, 51% of American adults have been fully vaccinated. 75% of seniors fully vaccinated.
More than 290 million doses of the coronavirus vaccine have been administered in the U.S., resulting in a dramatic decline in newly confirmed cases and coronavirus-related deaths. On Thursday, 27,000 new cases were confirmed across the country, a decline of 90% since the beginning of the year. And while health officials expect to see this trend continue, there are questions over the impact this Memorial Day weekend could have on the infection rate in the coming weeks. Joining us now for more on this is Dr. Teresa Amato. She's the chair of emergency medicine at Long Island Jewish Forest Hills. Dr. Amato, welcome. Great to see you. So the U.S. was on the cusp of recording its 100,000th coronavirus-related death last Memorial Day. Should Americans be feeling more optimistic ahead of the holiday this year?
So I think we've come a long way from a year ago. When I think back on Memorial Day of last year, there was so much uncertainty. We really didn't know which direction this pandemic was going. There was a lot of debate about masks and distancing and trying to get back to normal after we had the huge surge in March and April. I think we're in a very different place right now, and I think there's a lot of reasons to have some cautious optimism. We now are seeing these vaccines really doing what we had hoped they were going to do, which is to just crush this curve. The fact that we hit the milestone of 51% of Americans fully vaccinated, again, if you think about where we were a year ago, that's an astounding number, if you will. Really, really incredible how far we've come. I think the fact that we have been able to vaccinate our seniors so very successfully, these are the folks that we were most worried about, older adults and COVID. Was really a terrible combination. So to see that many people willing and able to get the vaccine has been a tremendous, I think, boost to people's morale for this year. I think we still have to be a bit cautious for people that are unvaccinated or for any reason can't get vaccinated or can't build up an immunity to the virus despite their vaccinations. We really have to keep them safe. So following the CDC guidelines, if you're not vaccinated, please still wear a mask, especially around vulnerable people. But if you've received the vaccine, I think it's time to feel comfortable with doing some outdoor activities with other family and friends that are vaccinated. So I think this Memorial Day hopefully will look a lot different than last year's.
Well, as you know, 1 in 4 Americans are excited about all of this and are expected to be traveling for Memorial Day weekend. I'm curious about two things. Number one, how we should incorporate our unvaccinated children into all of this, because, even if our kids are eligible at this point, probably most of them have only had their first dose. That's the case with my two children. Is it okay to just bring them into the fold with everybody else who's vaccinated? And number two, what if there are some unvaccinated people in the group? Is that an additional worry?
Right. So there's never an absolute correct answer to any of this. So I always encourage people to please speak to your pediatricians with any concerns that you have with your children and COVID. The American Association of Pediatricians are putting out some guidelines to what they think would be safe practice. So children over 2, under 12 who are not vaccinated should still be wearing a mask if they're indoors. However, if they're outdoors and can distance, they are recommending that they can go without a mask. When you talk about travel, I think, the guidelines are still saying when you're on an airplane or any other kind of public transportation, that people should still be wearing masks. Again, you don't know who's been vaccinated who isn't vaccinated. But I think that if you are around other family members and friends that are vaccinated and you're vaccinated, we can safely say you can take the mask down now and socialize. For folks who aren't vaccinated, we're still recommending they wear a mask and social distance. But I think as you know, as the vaccines roll out for the 12 and overs, and I too am in the same position. I have one more week till my youngest is fully vaccinated. We do have to be a little careful, because if they were to get this virus, the concern was they could transmit it to someone who's at a higher risk. We do know that most children, even if they got COVID, did very well. So, I would say be cautious with your children. Again, most kids did okay if they got infected, but we don't want them to get infected and infect others. So really, you're going to have to speak to your pediatrician and your own physician and kind of make a plan of what you think would be a safe travel plan if you are going to travel.
And are you at all concerned, Dr. Amato, about a spike in new cases after the holiday, considering how many people are planning on traveling?
So I've learned with all things COVID, some things are predictable and some things aren't. We did see huge spikes after certain big events in the winter, namely the holidays and also some sporting events. I think that the game has changed a little bit, especially with vaccinations. So I think it's increasingly more difficult to say exactly, if there's going to be a surge. I'm again, cautiously optimistic that with the vaccine rollout, we won't be having a surge. But again, you can't always account for, specific behavior. So I do hope that people who aren't vaccinated can, continue to consider to get vaccinated. We know now that this is really how we're going to get through this pandemic. And I hope that people's behavior is in keeping with the guidelines from the CDC. Again, if you're vaccinated and you can be around other vaccinated people, that sounds like a pretty safe plan, and hopefully then there won't be a surge. But it's more to come. If we do get another surge, we're ready. We're not hoping for it, but as always, we are prepared if it does happen.
All right. Well, Dr. Teresa Amato, thank you so much for joining us. We always appreciate your insight into this treacherous virus we've been dealing with. Thank you so much.
Great. Have a great weekend.